Welcome to another episode of the DI Dads in Progress podcast. We got the gang with us today. We got a nice show on tap. The usual suspects. Who we got here?
Hey y'all, it's Ty. Nice to see y'all another time. We here, y'all. Back again.
Back at it again.
Back again. To my right.
I know who it is. The humble one.
The humblest.
Have. Good day.
Have got a birthday coming up.
Yeah, birthday coming up around the corner.
Birthday coming around the corner, man. What you
Have you British though? You said good day.
Darren Sproles this year?
Yeah, 43, man. It's coming.
Wow.
And I ain't doing shit, so don't even ask.
I thought you said you was going out the
I
country.
did. That was last episode. Shit
goals-
changed that
Yes.
quick.
They
Come
said them
on.
goals go away by the night.
Real shit, dog. I don't know. We'll see.
I think you should go. You know I'm gonna say get on that plane or go.
We'll see.
Have a good time, Switch it up. 43, that's major.
That's a regular. It's like, no.
No,
It's
it's
not
not.
really.
No, every year,
No, but
once
it's
you
not
get
like
past a
it's not
certain
like
age,
it's not landmark though. Like,
it's not landmark.
It's not landmark,
but it is.
but it's still a
not
birthday,
45.
right? Right.
45, not even. Is it? I think it's after you hit 30 is every 2 years.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mm.
But you hear like 45. That's like a popular
Yeah.
number. 43 not a popular.
Whatever. It's my
Listen,
number.
any birthday you get to see another one,
Exactly.
I think it's
We
important.
gotta get out of that mentality.
No,
No,
bro.
we gotta get out of that mentality.
Every year you blessed to be here.
Every people go to
It's a
work.
celebration.
Every people go to work every day talking about, yo, I beat the street. You know, we didn't. You go to work every day. If something happened to you, something seriously wrong had to happen. Like,
You can get in
it
a
would've been
car
out of- it would've
accident.
been out of- but it would have been out of the norm.
Oh
though.
my goodness!
It would've been out
so
of the
now we
norm.
can't be blessed to wake up every single
No.
day. Like
We
He
can
said
be,
no.
but like we can be, but we gotta stop acting like, yo,
I ain't gonna say no. You can't say no, bro. Yeah,
right?
you gotta stop acting like, yo, I beat the streets. Like, no, you beat the streets a long time ago. If you still in the streets,
Oh
then,
my
like,
goodness!
Yeah, 43.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you can't keep saying that 40. I'm not you. I'm just saying in general. Like, you well over 30. You can't be saying, yeah.
That's gonna be my
I made
post.
it in the streets. You shouldn't be in the streets.
Now that's gonna be my
Yeah, I
post
see.
though.
But can we
Wow.
celebrate the
I mean,
off years?
yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, we can.
So we can celebrate 41, 42, 43. You know,
We
we
can,
don't
but
gotta
don't-
wait till 50. Like,
Don't go big. Just
oh my goodness.
43.
I don't do shit anyway, so it wouldn't be big.
Well, listen, have a good time. Enjoy.
Oh, all right. Yeah, for sure.
But how y'all feeling? We gonna do a wellness check-in. You know, I'm the wellness lady, the wellness queen. So let's start
Yes.
doing that. I want to know, it's New Year. You know, we second weekend. How y'all been
Oh, yeah,
feeling?
Happy New Year. That's our
Yeah.
first episode since the New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year,
everybody.
y'all.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
How the goals holding up so far? Anybody?
What was
Come on, what was
Yeah,
mine?
oh,
She
mine
talking about what
already-
was mine?
what was my goal
One of
actually?
mine is Chuck. No, I'm feeling good though. I'm pretty relaxing weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty relaxing
Turn
start
the
to the
movies
week.
off, gang.
That's good.
I ain't. Oh, the playoffs started, so you
Oh,
know
yeah.
it's been all football for me.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Yeah,
it.
I'm sure you've been in your zone.
Best time of the year. I
In
ain't
your
even go to
zone.
work the other day.
Wait, what you mean? You
I'm
didn't
calling
go?
out. Sorry, just it's playoffs.
I went to Drake night on Saturday, and
Oh, yeah.
you could feel the impact. All these times I was like, yo, Kendrick ain't stopped nothing. Kendrick ain't stopped nothing.
Oh, you felt
Uh-huh.
it.
I went to Drake night.
For
They didn't even
real?
open up the big. You ever been to the Fillmore? Like, they didn't open up the big stage.
Mm-hmm.
We
Oh,
was
shit.
all in like the vestibule area, like the place where you go to the bathroom and check your coat.
Or yeah.
Like, we was there partying. I'm like, yeah, I'm not staying here.
Wow.
Oh, you think it was
Wow.
the Kendrick effect, or it's just that they did so many Drake nights? Like, if you've been to
No,
one,
but when Drake is just Drake, like, it don't matter. If that was the case, then they would have been stopped doing them. They've
That's
been
true.
doing them for a long time.
I ain't never been to one.
Yeah.
Me either. I was going to ask, so what is it, Drake, like karaoke?
So no, what it is it's a regular party or whatever like that, and then they get to a point in the night, probably around like 11:30, where they just or 12, they start reeling off like the Drake hits, and they go,
Okay.
like, Drake at the Drake, and it's like a nice little set of like B-side songs that you might not have heard,
Mhm.
like, and then you get like the popping songs that everybody hears.
Okay.
But it all runs in together. But they
Yeah.
also play other music.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's just like it's majority Drake.
So it wasn't like that many people, like you could
No.
tell, for real?
I went to one.
Wow.
I was just there for the You, Me, and R&B like probably like 2 months ago,
Mhm.
and
It
this
was
was
packed.
nothing like that. Like, and I've been to this Drake night before too,
Yeah.
and it's like they didn't even open up the main stage. Like, I never
That's
been to that place
crazy.
where like the concert stage wasn't open.
But the You, Me, and R&B thing, now, that's just like a phase. Like everybody going to that right now.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
that joint just
everybody-
popping.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Just
like,
a bunch of R&B music.
Yeah.
And then I did hear, I think at the Fillmore, don't they do trap karaoke too?
Yeah,
Isn't
they
that
do
a
a lot,
popular
a lot
one?
of
All
those
that type
events
shit,
they
yeah.
happen
Yeah.
there, but it's just a club. Like, it's just a DJ set. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, they do regular performances, but a lot of that stuff is just a night where they just throw it back to all the old. It's like the oldies night, like
Oldies, yeah. So why you think it's different with since the Kendrick thing? Do you think it's because the Drake sued or whatever?
I don't know, but people just wasn't feeling like. Usually, like you could be like, "Yo, I'm going to the Drake night. It's gonna be some. It's gonna be some chicks there. We gonna have a good time."
Mhm.
And people must really just be on some. Like, I ain't
Wow. I
Man,
wonder
Drake
what that's
been
about.
He been doing some bullshit lately though.
Yeah.
but
really. Yeah, but
That's
I
what
was
that's
like,
what made me ask, like, because I heard didn't he sue?
He sued. Now he ratting on LeBron. Like he
Shit.
no
Not
he.
What?
LeBron, but he back rapping. He back rapping though. You heard
That
that
shit
bars.
sound like he was fucking crying the whole.
That you
joint.
heard them bars.
asking for
productive.
forgiveness from his friend.
Wow.
Like-
Yeah, because he got iced out. I feel like a lot of rappers icing him out because he been corny. He been acting a little corny,
I
little
didn't
white
know-
skin.
Yeah. I didn't know him and LeBron was that cool.
Yeah,
And with them being that cool, I could understand a little bit why he took it so personal.
because he was dancing to a song, bro.
No, he went to the event. He wasn't dancing to the
Oh,
song.
yeah.
He went to the
But
event.
he in LA. That's the biggest thing in LA that day.
But that don't mean nothing to you, my man.
So wait, LeBron
Like,
went
you
to
my
one
man.
event.
You my man. You're not gonna go pop up on somebody else's podcast, regardless if you and have.
Neutral.
Before Have was humble, Have was the good guy. Everybody like Have. Everybody like Have. If it don't sit right with me,
I feel
I
you.
expect you not to go.
Nah, I
he should
wouldn't. I
have
wouldn't.
set that one out.
So wait, I'm lost, yo. Who event did he go to?
He
the-
went to a Kendrick pop out show.
oh,
the LA
that,
joint.
the Westback night.
That West where he put all the
That's
people
when
from
the
West
whole-
Coast.
Wow. So Drake was. So how you know Drake was mad at LeBron for doing that?
Well, he just did a whole freestyle. Was fighting Irish freestyle.
Yeah.
Where
Coming
he like
at-
addressed. It was like he was like telling him how much he was hurt
And
from what you was
disappointed.
doing.
Oh, see, yeah, no.
He was
Mm-mm.
disappointed.
He's
with
that's a
LeBron.
But I
grown
understand where he
man.
came
I mean,
from, though. I
but-
mean, you gotta understand one, and I'm gonna take up for Drake. But one, he expressed himself through his music. So
Yeah,
if
he
you gonna
always
say
been that
something,
way.
you gotta express it through your
Yeah.
music. And then on top of that, that was his man. Like, he said it like that was his homie.
But do we think if that's really your homie that expressing it through your music when we know what industry we're in, is that the best way of handling it?
we had a dispute with our pod, and we did it on the pod.
Not really.
When I did it, but we did it we expressed it the way we express everything.
But it was all related to the podcast. LeBron
And
is
that's-
not another rapper. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
related to the
But their
friendship,
relationship
though.
was in the public, so I guess he
Yeah.
feel like he had to like address it publicly. I
He
guess.
said you checked on my son like a pediatrician.
Wow. See, I didn't know nothing about that. I think I
Yeah.
really kind of checked out. Like I am a Drake fan. I mean, I like Drake, but I
am
wasn't
too.
into the whole beef,
Yeah.
and I kind of just checked out since then.
You-
'Cause
have
I-
you listened to Gen X?
Mm-mm.
GNX? Is it GNX or
GNX.
Oh, or,
Mm-mm.
Grand
I'm like,
National.
I'm way behind, y'all. I'm
don't
way
worry
behind.
about it. You
Really
ain't
good
listening.
album.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a really, really
Okay.
good album.
Just keep listening to your future. Don't worry.
This is a
about
really good.
I'm not
album.
even listening to the future. I've been on my Afro beats vibe. I don't know what it is. I think since
You went
coming
to
back from South
yeah.
Africa, I just been in
It
this
was so
Oh, yeah.
Afro
I
beats
forgot you
bag.
was-
Yeah,
yeah.
like, and I've been late, so I really been like catching up.
Catching up on
And I'm just, it's a different sound.
it. Like what? Like Tim's and stuff? Or?
No, it's a few artists that like, of course, WizKid is known, but you know, once you start playing certain music, then like if you go on Apple Music or whatever, it's gonna
Yeah,
keep
they
giving
start
you.
pushing you.
So it's another artist, Adekunle Gold, I think is his name. And he like crazy. I'm like, yo. And what I love about Afrobeats music is like they really be talking some real stuff. And they do it in a way where it's just so relaxed and chill. And I think I'm just, you know, I'm a Future fan, but I'm out of that rap right now. Like I'm just at a different, I don't know, maybe I'm at a different place in life too, where I'm like, I need stuff that's like feeding my soul.
Yeah.
And I feel like Afrobeats, a lot of it, their music sounds like spiritual. Like a lot of the artists are talking about God and Jesus and like they're really spiritual, but even if they're not talking about it, just the way it makes you feel, it's like, ooh, this is doing something. So
my lady love that type of music, Afrobeats. And stuff
Yeah.
like that. It give me a headache.
For real?
I be feel like I like some of the songs. I ain't gonna lie, but I feel like I'm getting like old, where like how the old people used to be like, turn that music down.
I
and
know
all that
what
shit.
you're
Like,
saying. Yeah.
she had that shit on all the time. We
And
get in
I
the car,
could
and
see,
that's all she
yeah,
would play
it's
all day
because it's a
long.
vibe, and it's crazy. When I went to Africa, one of the young ladies I was with, she said that she was like, "Yeah, I could turn on Afro beats and just
All
let
day
it play."
long,
And then
man.
I had the same feeling because after a while, certain music it do get a little annoying. I'm like, but I don't know. It was just something about maybe the artists I discovered where their music it just feels so good, where like you could just let it like play, and it's not like that, and it's not like reggae.
Yeah.
So all of it is not dance. Like you know what I'm trying to say? It's some
yeah.
music was just real like low
some of
key,
it,
and you be
it's like
vibing
Clean.
to
It's
it.
like cleaning music.
It's
That's
very
what I-
clean, but it's a vibe too.
No,
so
I'm saying like clean up
Put
the
on
house.
when you clean.
oh
Yeah.
no, I don't think it's that kind of music. It's not like oldies.
No, I'm not saying it's oldies, but like I put stuff.
It's not
I'll put stuff
Oldies
like
is
that.
clean up
oldies.
music?
The oldies is
Yeah.
clean up music.
Old
Absolutely.
skis, freak music.
No.
And of course, we depends on which songs we talking about. But even the freak music, I feel like was the
you can
cleaning
clean on
music.
it. You can clean on it too.
Right.
Yeah, that's what's that good shit. When
The
you can
Isley
clean-
Brothers.
You can freak at
Teddy.
night, then clean in the morning.
Yo.
Like,
That
we don't
same
even gotta
Isley
change
Brothers
the
going in
CD.
the morning and mop the floor.
That flashback to the night before.
I'm cracking up, but
While you
wait,
listen
Sport,
to it.
your wellness check-in. I don't think I got you. How you feeling? How you been feeling
I'm
lately?
good. I'm good. I'm glad to be back in studio. We've been recording regularly. Yeah, so it's good to see y'all again. Like for a while, it was like we see each other. I'm like, all right, we'll see you when I see you. Like, yeah.
I mean, I know, but life just be busy, and
Yeah.
then it seems like the time is not that long before we're back here again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's
like,
how it is now, but it wasn't that
It
way.
wasn't.
Oh, I see
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
saying.
right,
Yeah,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
for sure, for
And
sure.
you know, we recorded this the night after I left the club because you know I had when I was at the club, so I went right from the club and I came right here. I ain't put this on. I still got this on.
from Drake night, you
Yeah, I
say
went
if
from
anybody
Drake
saw
night,
you
yeah.
at Drake
This the
night,
same
that
night.
was the same
This
night.
is-
Oh, all
I
right.
don't want to date this,
He
but
ain't
this the same
recycling
night from that
nothing, you
Drake
know.
night. Yeah.
Word.
He said it's
Cause I
still
ain't getting
clean.
no flick off. That's one of my goals this year to get flicks off. So I don't get my flick
yeah,
off.
it don't count.
It ain't
I got
count.
you.
You ain't
I-
see me in it. Only one person see me in it.
I totally understand you. I feel you 100%.
Somebody gonna be
I don't
watching
It
even
that.
know
smell
what
like
you're
the
talking
club a
about.
little bit though. I ain't gonna lie though. It do smell like the club.
Somebody gonna say like, boy, that was boy at the Drake night. I had that Long
Thanks for
Island
tuning
in there.
in.
But we got a big show on tap today though. We got some
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes, we got a few
Let's
things
get into the
on the
real stuff.
agenda.
Yeah.
Let's get it started, Sport.
So let's talk about. We always the internet. So we were sharing
Mm-hmm.
the reel, and I shared to y'all. And I wanted to talk about this one topic. It was this lady. Now she might have been going to the a little bit of the extreme, but she was talking about how a man, if he have like her extreme was one. I'm gonna say one that's not that much extreme, but she was like, if you got a coffee table in your house,
Oh my goodness.
then that's
It
an
was
indication
crazy.
that like somebody been here before. If you got like a skincare routine, that's an indication that somebody been here before. Like, so she was getting around to the notion that I don't want to deal with a man who already has a foundation from his previous relationship, because that previous relationship always going to rear its ugly head in our relationship. When you tell him like, oh, you should switch to this. No, me and my ex, we use Aveeno. Like that's what we use. We use rose petal
Wow.
water. Like that's what we
Yeah,
do. Or
yeah.
like, no, I like this color scheme because that's the color scheme that my place was when I was with my ex or whatever like that. So how do y'all feel about and I definitely want to get your opinion, Ty, being a woman.
Mm-hmm.
How you feel about dealing with somebody that has a past foundation, just in general?
Well, I think at a certain age, and of course, depending on the age of the person you're dating, you should expect that they're gonna have some habits that they
Right.
formed from the last situation. And it's also a thing where I know us women sometimes, let's say, we're dealing with a guy and he's not where he's supposed to be on some things. So you are building him up. You are kind of like helping him with some things. Let's say it is the skincare routine or like things about like how his place should be, where there are situations where sometimes if that relationship don't work out, the woman does feel some kind of way. It's just like, well, dag, like, not saying I'm responsible for the man that you are today, but I did teach you some things that
Some blood goes on there.
I would have loved if we could have stayed together. So, I didn't kind of get you ready for the next woman, get you better for the next woman.
Right.
So personally, if a man, like, I did see that, and I just thought it was
Yeah.
very extreme.
Yeah,
Like
she
at the
had a
end
lot
of the
of
video, she was
extreme.
like, "Give me like the crusty knuckles." Like I don't want the man with the crusty knuckles.
I felt like that was like saying she wanted that clay piece that she can put her own, like how you spoke on putting your own touch on it.
Yeah, and I took it as just like she wants like the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah,
Because I think she said like ashy knuckles. Like, I just, it's giving me like street. Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah. Homeless.
a person is giving homeless. Because she was saying she didn't want him to like you say, have a coffee table, no skincare routine. I guess he had to use like basic dollar store lotion. Like if he had a Vino where like, if he had Cetaphil, whoa, too much. Like,
Right.
I don't know. It was just a lot where I'm like, no, I don't agree with that. I know at this age, depending on who I'm dating, the man, I would hope that he would have some stuff together. Like,
Right.
I hope you do have your skincare routine
Right.
on lock by 35, 40. I hope that you do have a nightstand and not a crate in your bedroom, because that's just tacky. No judgment. I'm just saying at a certain age, I will hope you would have those
No, we
things.
judging.
So,
We listen
because you
and
never
we
know
don't
people's
judge.
situation.
But is it alarming? Is alarming if that stuff is already there? Like I hear you. I hear
No,
you.
I would say he
yeah.
has good taste.
Okay, you wouldn't think like, oh, he got a man. I mean, he got a girl already. Like,
I mean, I think there will be other things that, of course, I need to pay attention to if I think he's dating another
Yeah.
woman.
yeah,
There's some men that are just cultured. They know where to go to get good furniture.
yeah.
They know, you know what I'm saying, and they are mature too. Like they're not at that college frat boy age where your place just look crazy. It's like, no, there's some men,
Let's put
30s and
together.
40s who they like, look, I'm trying to do something a little different. And then also I feel like the caliber of woman you're dating, you want that type of woman who is attracted to that. So personally, no, if I am dating somebody and he doesn't give me any other reason to think he's still dealing with his ex, I'm not going to just assume or be turned off because he takes care of himself in his living space.
And then naturally, like it's like experience. So with every relationship, you pick up something like that you gonna carry on to the
To the
either
next
whether
one,
it's
yeah.
good or bad. You pick
Right,
up something
that's
that you
true.
gonna carry on to the next relationship. So it's I don't know what she was on. I think
It was a lot. Like,
I think people just be saying anything to go viral.
yeah, seriously, because it was giving homeless.
Yeah, she was wilding.
It was really giving homeless.
Do you think that have though, like with like how you said from next relationship, you picked up habits and you try to keep the good ones and you try to shed the bad ones and stuff
Right.
like that. Well, in your situation, do you find it hard to like adapt to like, oh yeah, I use this stuff, and how a woman might take it is like, oh, like I said, my first example, like, oh, I use a Vino because you probably wouldn't tell her like, oh, my ex used to use that or whatever like that, but she like, no, you should be using this.
Right.
How is it hard to adapt and change that way of
I
things?
mean, I take her advice, but if I like my vino, I like my vino. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna change me, say, but no, I take her advice. Like, I'm one of the people that I listen to everything. So if you got you might know something better than she
what
do
I
or
know.
whatever,
Yeah,
or what I learned in the past. So yeah, I'll take the advice and try it. But if I feel like a vino is for me,
then that's what I'm gonna use. And I also think the man or whoever it is don't gotta say, I used to do this with my ex.
Yeah,
you know,
don't have to
please
say
because
don't do that.
right,
Yeah,
don't
you
say
gotta-
that because I do remember a situation that I might have been in where like something came up with the ex, and I remember saying it like,
don't do that.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Like even if that's where it came from, you just be respectful of
And then
whoever you're with.
Then you might already know it, like the other person might already know it. Like if I get with a girl, she's heavily
certain
into
stuff,
sports
yeah.
and stuff like that, or she know what this, that, and the third. I might already in my mind like she probably got that from
Dude.
but I ain't gonna bring it. It ain't something that I'm insecure and I gotta bring it up. Like it's cool. Like you got it now. You can sit watch the game with me. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying?
And there's a lot of people that don't want to take heed to what nobody else got to say. There's a lot of men that's like stubborn, like they want to be ashy. They don't want the good
Want the ashy
moisturizer.
knuckles.
You know what I'm saying? They want the ashy knuckles. So like, there's a lot of men that don't take nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
So if a man is going to take something from a woman, I think it should be when it comes to like hygiene and living spaces and just more, not saying it's feminine, but things that women, I guess it comes a little more natural to us.
Right.
What
'Cause I'll
about
tell
you? How did you?
Go ahead.
Oh,
No, I was about to say if I was move out and I move on my own, I'm calling a female friend to decorate for me and shit like that. So
a woman's touch.
I take that, their advice.
Well, they say when you single, you live alone, your place should be decorated for the comfort of a woman.
Oh yeah.
Like, so you should have, like, I think Cat Williams was saying it on like his old HBO special. He's like, I got satin pillows because when a woman come over here,
yeah.
for a woman,
She
like
feel comfortable.
yeah, so
That's
things of that nature.
I think that's
so,
a nice gesture.
so you should like I'm gonna give an example that I was going through. Like I play the game sometimes. I might mention it more than I actually play it, but I was thinking about getting a game chair, and I was like, because I got my son's ones, and I was gonna get one for myself, but I'm like, no, I'm not putting a game chair in my room.
Right.
I'm like, that's just gonna give off a bad
yeah,
vibe.
when they
Yeah,
come
yeah, yeah,
over.
yeah. It's just gonna give off a
Like,
bad
he
vibe
never
in here.
goes
Like,
out.
yeah, like it's gonna give
He's
off
a
a bad
gamer.
vibe. So I'm like, and me thinking about like women and stuff like that, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna put no game chair here.
But you
I was
can
like-
put
But
it
do
in
you
the
have
basement.
like a right? Do you have like a little area?
Oh no, they took all that shit over. Like
Oh, yeah?
they got the basement, my son in his room. So I'm gonna just wheel his game chair in my room, and then I'm gonna wheel it back. But I'm not gonna have no chick. I'm not bringing no chick in there. Like, what's that? Like, then I gotta explain. I'll be playing the game. Like, well, how much do you be playing? And like,
Yeah, I got you.
So yeah,
I
Like, you gotta
mean,
be like, I'm a podcaster.
Yeah. But to like
Yeah.
to close off the point where she's saying, do y'all think that she the point where she emphasized that ex gonna always rear their head back in a relationship?
don't
do
agree
you
with
think
that.
that's true?
I don't agree with that. either.
mm-mm.
So you don't think like you have, let's say, let's get this example, like, oh, where you go to get this at because you used to always buy this for me. Like you think you always gonna have that relationship with a person who kind of molded you into the man you are.
Oh.
Well, where's the way I can call her and be like, yo, where you get
Yeah,
this
but and that's what a woman might be scared of. Is like, oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, no, I
she
get that.
those little things that you like to do, she molded that stuff into
Right.
you, and I think that's what she was like getting to. Like, yeah, you molded those things, so it's only right that she go back like, yo, where you get that soap from the Chinese place at? Where that's at? Like,
I mean,
because on your side it's looking like, oh, that's not a
That's
big
just
deal
my
that I
homie,
call
yeah.
my ex.
Mhm.
We just ex now, and I want to know where to get something. On her end is you got a constant communication with somebody that you used to be
Mhm.
with, and her fear is that person always might be one
But
step.
there's
from coming back in
insecurities
your
too.
life.
So
Mhm.
I would want you to be secure enough to know that
Mhm.
it's a wrap. I'm just going to as a friend and asking for advice, and it can
Yeah.
only be that. Like once you get me with a Vino, where I go to get the Vino from.
Yeah, we,
I
de-
ain't
we
never gonna hear
definitely
from her.
we definitely plugging the
But I
Vino.
Vino, ads. I want to.
Yeah, but I also feel like if we're talking about like skincare products and like furniture, like, do we really need to call up the ex for that? Like, you have a whole new lady now. Be like, babe, I'm having issues with my skin. I'm a little dry. What you think? Now, if it's not on the same level, I mean, maybe ask your mom, sister,
Yeah.
cousin before you go the ex route. Because
But I'm saying like just if it was something special, it don't have to be that. We keep going back to that example,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
we
something
just- yeah.
special. Like, yo, you know where I like to get that oxtail from? What I'm saying, like something special that you
I feel
gotta
like
call that
as long
ex
as
for.
no, I mm-mm.
Yeah.
just don't even try
Yeah,
to
it-
create
it puts you in a
problems. Like
bad
just
place. Yeah.
just that
Right.
it need to be that. Just appreciate them putting you on to whatever it was they put you on to. Hopefully your new lady could put you on to
Put you
some
on
stuff
something
as
new.
well.
Do you? Go ahead. Let me ask you this: you ever take a not
I know
now,
what you
but
about
you
to
ever
say.
take a new chick
Yeah, I
to
know what
a
you're
place an old chick took you to?
Yeah, for
Wait,
sure.
you did it? Oh,
Because chicks be
my
having the spots.
goodness.
Yeah,
Chicks
they
be
having
having
good spots.
Chicks be
Yo.
having the spots. They know where the
They be
spots
knowing where
at.
to go, but I won't say it though.
No, you never
I won't
say,
say
but
it,
like if they be like, damn, where you get the spot? You like, girl, you don't even know. Like
Right. Be like, I know
Nah,
all
just
the
be
spots.
like, no, I was googling some shit and it's popped up.
I
It's
got it from
popped up.
TikTok. Yeah.
Don't lie
This shit
now.
popped up. No, I'm
Don't lie
no,
now.
if you say, yo, this
yeah,
where me and
yeah,
Shorty
well, yeah,
went,
you can't.
it's
You
gonna
can
be a whole
never bring it up.
situation.
It's
You can
always
never
some-
bring it up.
Some like it's a little bit of lying in everything, I think.
yeah.
It's
As
a little
much
bit
as
of
you
a
tr-
lie and everything.
And everything.
As much you try
Yeah.
not to.
Nah, I don't.
Sometimes
I
Yeah,
don't
but
agree.
something like we just said, something so innocent can be
Yeah.
viewed as not innocent in somebody else's hand because
Right.
people insecurities and things like that. It's a little bit of
Exactly.
lie in everything.
Mm.
But that,
Okay.
that might be a conversation for another day.
Yeah, I think it's a good topic. But to your point, the video that was extreme.
Yeah,
that was a lot.
She was going.
It was
She was
just
looking
like
for a viral
it just
moment.
seems like a man who took care of himself was a turnoff for her because
Yeah, that's-
it was literally just him taking good
you
care of
wipe your
himself.
butt.
and
You wipe your butt. No.
She clearly like the bum ass nigga.
homeless. But you brought up TikTok.
Yeah.
What's going on with TikTok?
R.I.P.
It's about to be a
TikTok.
done deal.
All right, too. Yeah.
I mean, it me
That's
personally,
crazy.
I wasn't a TikTok.
Me
Like,
either.
I only
I
went
wasn't.
up there for us.
Mm-mm.
to do
I created an account. I don't think I posted one thing.
Yeah,
I just
I repost
it was
our
too
shit.
overstimulating for me.
And I did go up there for that girl that Russell Tessa showing when she was Why Did I Get Married?
Yeah.
I watched all 50 of them joints.
Yo, I was like trapped in the
So who the
closet.
fuck
I think I heard. Yeah, I heard about
Yeah,
that.
I watched that, but that was it with TikTok. for
with
me,
TikTok.
bro.
Yeah, I
why
never got
didn't
down with it
you?
either.
Why didn't you use it more? What you think? Like,
I think it just wasn't for me. I think it was for like the young.
The young
when
kids.
when I heard about it, I felt like it was like more for like catered to the younger people
Mm-hmm.
and shit like that. So it wasn't something for me. And it was I already had enough with. I was already over Instagram and
yeah,
Twitter and Facebook. Like them shits was burning me out. So I ain't need another. And then Snapchat
social
too.
media,
So I ain't
right?
need
Because it's just
another.
like, okay, so we just gonna go to the next one. Like we
Yeah.
just gonna keep going to the
I
next
mean,
one.
it is fun. Like they get all them dances and.
But isn't that how it started with the dances?
Mhm,
Okay,
I
because
believe
I was
so,
going to say, I
yeah.
feel like I noticed, not I noticed, but I remember it starting with the kids doing the dances. And then it turned into people saying it was really good for like everything. Like if you wanted to find.
and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
They kind of revolutionized a lot of things that we like. I don't know if it was started off with dancing, but people started to dance on there.
I
and
think
that
it
became
did
a
start
thing.
with dancing, yeah.
Yeah, and then you had the
Because I feel like it
Like
started
the-
in 2020, maybe. Like
the
it- when
TikTok
it-
shop and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's something that was adopted by even the reels that's on Instagram.
Mhm.
That's just TikTok.
It came from TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And like the remember Vine too.
Yeah,
That's-
Vine.
all
Oh
that
wow,
stuff
that was
from-
that's a
yeah.
throwback. Yeah.
All that shit was like a older
So
cousin
with
to
that,
it.
what they do on TikTok is where kind of what they do now on Instagram, where it's like you get caught in this loop of where
Yeah.
you're just swiping up and
Yeah.
swiping up,
Yeah.
and they give you video and video of the
Yeah, it
things you're
definitely
talking
gets
about.
you.
So that's what
Yeah.
happens with me. So I think that's where it really got popular because of that. And a lot of people, I think the problem with people being so upset about it getting banned is because a lot of people monetize
Make
on
their
there a
money
lot.
on
They
there.
make a lot of money
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
there.
And
and
they
stuff
say
like
they
that,
TikTok pay you more than
yeah,
most
they
of
pay
the
you
other
more than
ones.
Instagrams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This might be a dumb question, but how are you getting paid? Is it like ads?
I
Well,
think the viewers, more
views. Yeah, you get paid for the views because
Oh,
they get
really?
paid for the views.
Yeah,
If,
exactly.
if
Oh, I
a
didn't
million
know that.
people watched it, they get a nice percentage of it, and they
Mhm.
give you a percentage of it back.
Who's
Right.
paying them for the views? Is it like
just the
advertising
app,
and stuff?
just like advertising, and then the app
okay.
space and stuff like that. That's always weird. I never understood that either. Like even like
yeah.
watching TV, like how you get paid?
How you get paid?
Yeah,
Like the
yeah, yeah.
viewers, and then how you know
Yeah.
I'm watching it?
Oh, such and such amount of people watch this, so we made this.
But
type
how
of
do y'all
money.
know?
I don't know how they. I
Like,
never
how do
knew
you know I
they-
turn my
yeah.
TV on and put this channel on?
Even
Like,
with what's the name though, like I always say that about like Netflix and all that, like that kind of is a trick system because it's like I fell asleep on that shit. I wasn't watching
wasn't
it.
really watching
but
it.
you know what? It was the fact that it probably was still playing.
It was still playing.
Yeah,
though. That's
so,
how they counted. Yeah.
I do. I do remember. Now that you're saying it, like some they really are able to capture a lot. Like,
Yeah.
at what point do people turn it off? Like,
Now you
how
see
many
they
people go
pause
back
stuff.
to it? Like,
Right.
it's so much. Like
Yeah.
with the analytics and the numbers, like they could just see
They
so
pause
much.
what?
They pause things you do. Like now Netflix they ask you like, are you still watching it?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
They
Mhm.
didn't do that before.
Yeah,
would
because
just let
they
it
they
play.
don't want
Yeah,
you to
yeah.
I think it's too again with their
Yeah.
analytics, like they want to make sure they capturing it.
Mhm.
And with TikTok, I think if I'm not mistaken, besides I never really was a big TikTok person because again it's just a little overstimulating for me.
Mhm.
It's just too much going on. Like even when I created the account, I was like, I just like created and like threw my phone because I'm like,
Right,
all right,
yeah.
it's a lot. But then it was this documentary I watched on Netflix called The Social Dilemma. And to be honest, after watching that documentary, it really had me reevaluate my relationship with social media in general. Because the documentary, it was very interesting the way it was set up. Like it wasn't just people talking the whole time. They were kind of like reenacting some stuff.
Mhm.
But it was people that used to be working like head of like Facebook, Instagram, like the top people, Google.
Yeah.
And they, because they worked behind the scenes or worked within this structure of a organization, like they really understood and learned like the ins and outs on how, I don't want to get confusing, so that's why like if y'all interested, check it out because it really makes you understand how addictive social media is and how these
Very
companies
Yeah.
are literally doing things. They're like studying us through the screen,
Yeah.
which I'm sure we all figure, right? Because you'll be
Mhm.
like, yo, how was it that just popped up and I was just talking about that or scrolling or,
Right.
something I was texting about and now I'm seeing an ad for it. But like they was really breaking that down. And I think it just really reevaluated my relationship with social media, because these are like head of the companies. These are some of these people, they resigned from their jobs because
Right.
they just felt so bad about what they were doing.
Right.
And they were like, I can't do this no more. And a lot of them, you know, had kids of their own. They was like, yeah, my kids are not getting phones till they're like 16 or like 18, you know, because I know the damage and effects of what, and I know what we're doing to try to reel you in so we can make our money. So I think maybe too, because of that, I was like, TikTok, I'm good. Because again, anything that makes my nervous system feel I'm all over, I'm like, I can't do it. And TikTok was that for me. Instagram is like that too. Like if you just keep scrolling and scrolling, then I'll have to do the same thing. Be like, give it a break, because it's just too much information all the time. And then you just glued to it, and then you look up 2 hours unpassed, and it's like, that's a problem.
So the biggest threat to it was they was thinking that the creator, the guy that owned the company, was like a Chinese national, and they was worried about him using it.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, they interviewed him on, I want to say 60 Minutes or CNN, and they talked about him saying how the algorithm is different in like China, like kids from 10 and under, they only can view like educational stuff.
Right.
But
Which
the kids here,
I always believe social media should
but the
be
kids
like that
here,
for kids.
it was like
it's like
holding no
adults.
holds barred,
Yeah.
And it was like they think he was
crazy.
doing that like weaponizing,
Like
stuff
intentionally.
that.
Yeah, because why is it difference?
Yeah,
Like
exactly. So a lot of that stuff was like that, and I think we kind of forget that, like, because we so used to everything coming from here, that it is some stuff that doesn't come from here and we use, and this was one of those big platforms that was foreign, and they just didn't trust it. So
yeah.
RIP TikTok, man.
I think we
If
on
it
too
really
many
happened.
social media sites anyway.
It's a lot already,
we
right?
already got a lot.
Listen,
but
can we all
it's
bring
tied
back
into our money
MySpace?
though. It's tied into our
Of course.
money, and
You said bring back my
Bring back MySpace.
Yeah.
Every time, was you on MySpace, Hev?
Yeah, I was on
For
my
real?
The top three, top
top
five.
three.
Top
Had the
five.
music playing when they come on.
They
Yeah.
I
said
think
we was
more
doing
so
coding. We was doing
That's what,
coding
and I
we
think
didn't
that's
even
what
know.
made me say it, because I saw all these
Oh,
things. They was like,
yeah,
"Yo,
yeah.
did y'all understand at a young age they had us doing this?" And I
went to
never
school
thought
for
about
that.
it like that.
Yeah.
How you could
Oh.
personalize your page, you could get your picture up there. I loved MySpace.
Yo, when you used to go on MySpace and it said you had a picture, comment,
Oh
a
my
message,
goodness, all them
a comment,
notifications.
and you like, yo, like,
Because that's when you had to wait till you get home to check
and
it.
get on a
You
computer to
couldn't
check it. You had to get
dial
on a
up.
computer.
Remember
Yeah,
dial up where-
yeah.
All right, Mom, I'm getting on.
I told y'all about my little MySpace crush. I thought I had one. She was sending me flowers and shit every day. And
On your
shit,
page?
on my page, sending me shit. So I come straight at her. She told me, no, I was cool. I was just being nice.
I was just nice. I don't like that shit. Don't be
Feelings, bro.
don't be nice to
I
me.
thought I had one. Like, oh, look, these little Rican joint too.
Yeah, don't be nice to
I
me.
Thought you bagged the MySpace
thought I
shorty.
bagged on
She said I was
MySpace.
just being polite.
She was being wild though. What the fuck you doing that for? You don't have to.
You don't
I
have
don't
to
know
do
you.
that.
I don't know you. Why you being
said,
polite?
"Why?"
I didn't need that shit. I didn't need a build up. I thought you was trying to, you know what I mean?
I'm cracking. I ain't need to.
I ain't need no build
Have
up.
you still hurt?
No.
Don't be nice to me.
You ain't have to be nice to me. I wasn't one of those. I was cool.
Have still heard about it.
I thought she. I
Well,
thought I
if you
had one.
listening, Rick and Join from MySpace.
I was saying name, but it's cool.
Let's go. Let's go to the next topic. then. So the thing is, I saw Earn Your Leisure was talking about that, how it's a fear that the population is dropping because this generation and next generations are just not having kids the way that our grandparents and great grandparents have. If you think about it, like a lot of people say their grandparents, it was like 10 of us or it was 8 of us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or our great grandparents.
Yeah, they
it'd
ain't
be
had no
like
birth
12 and stuff
control.
like that. So yeah, that is
It
true.
wasn't
Now
no
you think
reliable
about it.
birth control back then.
Yeah, but like it was bigger families, and they said people of this generation that's coming up, and they just don't plan on seeing them having a lot of kids because times are hard. So like a big family is like 3 kids. And I just wanted to get y'all thoughts on how you feel about that. Well, Have got all the kids. How you feel about
Have got all the kids.
You
got the
3
same
kids.
amount.
Right. I was like, wait, what?
Yours older than mine now.
We got the same.
You was older than mine.
And one
And the
girl.
girl.
Like,
Don't put that smut on
we
my
got the
head.
same
I was literally
goddamn
thinking
big
like,
girl.
Have got more than I need to. Did I know about?
That's what they do because I got the grown kids.
Yeah.
Have keep
okay.
trying to have them. That's why.
No, listen, because I came from a big family. Like my grandma had she had 12 kids. One of my uncles passed away when he was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So she wound up having, when I was born, it was 11.
Mm-hmm.
So 11 kids, and my family we was big. So her kids was popping out kids. But I think they never really went past 3 either. So
Yeah.
a couple of them went past 4. We had a couple humdingers that was popping them out.
Boom, boom, boom. Womp, womp, womp.
But no, coming from that, I always wanted a big family.
Mhm.
Like I wanted
Oh,
to have
wow.
like 6, 7 kids.
For
Like,
real?
Well, 6. I wanted to even number. I wanted to have like 6.
Yeah.
I wanted to have like 3 boys, 3 girls.
Mhm.
That type of situation. But it ain't work out like that. I had the 3. I had the 2. Should have stopped. Love you, fat boy. But should have stopped that too when I had my boy and my girl. But then I had my son, and then it was over. But then now, recently, I'd be like, I might want another one.
I was just about to ask you want any more kids?
No, I always say that.
You
Sport
always
time, you
keep
don't
talking
do
about
it.
you
'Cause I'm
having
be
a
the
kid.
old man.
Don't do
If
it.
you-
You're
if you want 'em,
gonna
have-
traumatize your kids. Like,
No, have.
And
If
be
you
like, oh
want
my
them, have
God.
them, have.
I would.
That mean you just gotta get them them numbers in check. Remember last
Yeah, yeah,
time?
yeah. See,
Make
I
sure
would-
you
I
help
would
them.
have
They
another
gonna be
one,
like
but
Juan the
again-
Third. Who that? Your grandpa?
Juan the third.
But I'm so far removed. Like my youngest, he about to turn 16, so it'll
That
be
ain't
like start
that
all
far
over. Yeah, that's a
removed.
long. That's a
yeah,
long.
if you
I'm
got
done.
I
kids.
say do it.
I ain't gotta start. I mean, she got a daughter, so I'm helping raise her. She's 6, so
You couldn't even
That'll
find her
work.
with the pink jacket, or you.
I mean, players fuck up.
What about you, Squirt?
I come from a big family too. My grandmom, there was 10 of them. She was the youngest. And my grandfather, it was 12 of them,
Mm.
and they only had 3 kids.
Yeah, like
And
that's,
it
Yeah,
kind of dwindled
mhm.
down.
the next generation only had 3. I
Yeah,
thought.
Yeah.
same. Yeah.
And then their kids, my mom, my uncles, and stuff like that, all of them got. Well, my one uncle, he just trifling. Now he don't count. But my other uncle and my mom only had 3 kids,
Mhm.
and then dwindled down to me. It's just I got 3 kids.
Mhm.
I got 2 brothers. My little brothers don't even have no kids.
My brother got 2.
Yeah. So like on my dad's side, my sisters got kids and stuff like that. But like you said, the numbers start to dwindle,
start
and
to-
even
yeah.
people who feel. I think a lot of people feel the guilt of having one.
Right.
Mhm.
That people guilt
Yeah.
you into having one. It's almost like getting married. Like people guilt you into having one.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, people like I'm just not doing no more than that.
Mhm. Now, would you have any more, or are you done?
No, I wouldn't have no more.
Okay.
I wouldn't even. That's like one of the things I'm intentional about when I talk to people.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah,
I
I'm
don't
not
want no
really-
more
You
kids.
done? You ain't having no more kids.
You gotta show me your pay stub before you get me to have another kid. Like, cause it's
Mhm.
not easy. It's tough.
Yeah, I'm
It's-
sure.
That's the thing.
It's
though,
a lot of
having kids
time.
is-
Not
Yeah.
even money too. Is a lot of time.
Time and
too.
energy. Energy,
yeah.
right?
And then the fact that the way I work or the way we work, I can't devote as much
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
To the-
exactly.
to the child that you
Yeah,
want.
so
Yeah.
it'd be like selfish for me to bring.
And that's the
another
thing
kid.
too.
Yeah.
People think about when you just talk about the money aspect of it. It'll be just like providing, and it's not just providing.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
when you making the money, it takes you away from them. So it's like
Right.
a double edged
Exactly.
sword.
Which
with
one?
that.
Yeah, which one is more
yeah.
important? Because if you with the
Facts.
kid all the time, you're
You
not
can't-
out making the money.
Exactly,
And then if you out making the money, you're not spending that quality
right.
time.
But people just view it as like, oh, you need money to buy their
Just
stuff.
money.
Like, no, it
Yeah.
ain't just the money to buy their stuff.
Mhm.
It's when
Right.
you making the money, you missing their life. And
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
Facts.
So I wouldn't have one like. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm totally. If I have another one, it ain't gonna be because I wanted it. Just know I didn't want it. Just know
Don't
that.
say that.
Just know I
Why
really love
would
my
you-
wife. Just know I really love my wife, and I didn't want
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And I'm gonna
I
tell
mean,
the baby that the whole life.
Don't-
Like I just didn't want you.
Oh my goodness.
I'ma
Why
just
would
tell
he
you, like, I
traumatize
just
his
didn't
child?
want
You know I ain't want you, right?
Yeah.
Just don't have him then.
Yeah.
Don't have him or her. My
Yo,
goodness. They didn't ask to be
what's wrong
here.
with you?
They're gonna be like, Mommy.
I'm be like,
tell her the whole life.
see,
bro.
I'm be like, see, look,
Mommy, why is
we ain't
Daddy
even had
like
to have this problem.
Yo.
He crazy. So I did research a little bit when we decided to talk about that, and from what I read, and I meant to write it down. From what I read, it seemed like the decline in like the birth rates were more so because of women putting like career and fulfillment over like being a mom.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, cost of living, money, finances, the economy. I think it was 2 more that I wish again that I would have remembered to jot those down. But it seemed more based on the woman than the man.
Yeah, that is
Like I
true.
didn't see like dads are not wanting to be, or men are not wanting to be fathers. It seemed like it was more based on women. And this is always an interesting conversation because I don't have children. I love children. You know, it's something that growing up, I never was one of those little girls that knew she wanted to be a mom. I think we talked about this. So even now in my adulthood, I'm not like pressed one way or the other, you know, because I do know there are a lot of women that know, like, I want to be a mom. Even if they're not in a relationship now, they know ultimately they're going to be a mom. And for me, it's something that it's whatever the Lord's will is for my life. I'm learning that a lot of times you could think you want something, and then when you get it, you be like,
Can I get this
want
back?
that. And I know kids are really not that type of thing. You can't give them back.
Once you
Like,
give 'em-
it can't be a, oh, I want a baby. And, you know, once you realize what comes with it, oh, I don't want a
I mean,
baby.
you can, but it's frowned upon.
I mean, you can give them away. You give them away,
Please
but
don't
you can't
give them away
back.
to the foster care system.
Take them to the fire.
Just
The fire,
drop 'em
fire
off.
station.
Yeah,
Oh,
fire
no.
station. That's old school.
With the hood
Yeah,
on it, run away.
right. Yeah, no, but seriously though, and this is a conversation that a lot of women I feel are starting to have because society does put it on women. You know, a man, he could not have kids for 30 or 40 years. Nobody's going to blink an eye, but if it's a woman, they're going to be looking at her like,
what's
why
wrong
you
with
ain't,
you?
you
Yeah.
know? So I think with social media, you know, we were talking about that earlier. That's one thing I like about social media is how honest women are being about saying, like, even mothers and wives are, you know,
Right.
being honest and saying, like, this is hard. And I know I'm not supposed to say this. You know, I don't really feel good about saying this. I love my children, but this is hard and I'm struggling, you know, and I feel like I have no help. So I just think the birth rates are declining because women are getting more honest about their struggles to educate other women like me who don't have children so that we can make an informed decision. You know what I'm saying? Versus just feeling like we got to do something out of obligation.
Right.
But also too, it's like, look at the world. Do we want
Do you want
kids?
bring-
Like, and I know that they're like, oh, well, the world was always bad. So, you know, I'm not trying to say that we shouldn't ever have kids, but it's just like, you got to weigh it. It's your situation, not what society says you should be doing
Gotta do
at a
what's
certain
best for you.
age. You know, because there's plenty of people that had kids that I'm sure wish they would have waited,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, I think it's our society that tell us to have kids.
Yeah,
young.
and something's
Like,
wrong with you if you
yeah.
like. That's a major situation. Bringing a life into the world, like,
I used to think that too, I ain't gonna lie. Not women though. I used to think men that was in like they 40 they ain't had kids was something wrong with them.
They like
Yeah.
white girls.
I was like, what's wrong with you? But I don't know. That was just me.
No, I always
Yeah.
looked at women that way. Like,
What women ain't
and
had
it's
kids?
sad is like if you see a woman that's like a
That's
certain age,
crazy,
you be like,
right?
yo, they like, why you ain't have a
You
kid?
think something? You,
Yeah,
you be
think
like,
something,
something
yeah,
wrong
yeah.
with her.
Yeah,
And
that's
then-
what I'm saying. You get up
Yeah.
like, oh, something wrong with her type.
That's
of
crazy
look.
that we thought.
Even
like that.
I mean, that's
Right,
the
it's-
intrusive.
it is,
that's
but-
the intrusive thought though to be like, yo, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
but it's also the norm, and I think the part about like nowadays, what I guess messes me up is like, but we're talking about like out of wedlock babies, like, you
That
know
too,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like
That
when
too.
we talking back, our grandparents' age, they were married.
Right.
Was it a healthy marriage? Was it a fake?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation. But these were like marriages, like
is true.
family units. You know,
Well,
everybody is
yeah.
under one roof. Nowadays, the kid thing is more so just you just have kids
Yeah.
and no judgment at all. I'm just saying that's interesting. That's an interesting concept too. Like,
And then back then wasn't shit else to do but fucking had kids.
Yeah, we rush I think we rush our kids out the house too fast, and we rush to have kids too fast. 'Cause
Yeah,
a
we
lot
just
of
rush a
different-
lot of
a
things.
lot of different cultures, like they stay home. Like
How
soon as
Oh,
you
forever.
soon
It'd
as
be
you
a few
get 18,
generations.
they looking at you like, oh, you need to get your own. Like,
How long are they supposed to stay in the crib?
well,
though?
in like Asian and Indian cultures, like it's almost like they stay forever because it's like the
Yeah.
parents stay within a household. Like as like let's say the parents who turn into the grandparents as they're aging, they stay because then the kids and the grandkids take care of them.
I don't know.
And then you got to remember too, all of that money is staying in that one household. It ain't.
But then
five
as a
and-
kid, don't you
Well,
want to
black
like,
people
have that
like the
freedom?
judge.
But I think that's the cultural thing though.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
cultural
I see-
thing
I
where
see
it's
what you're
like
saying,
in their family, that's what's normal.
yeah.
So it's like if you want to break away from that, I'm sure that's now a conversation you got to have with your grandmother or whatever, because it's like that's what they've been doing for years. Like I watch 90 Day Fiance a lot, And it's interesting to see Americans, like, let's say I'm watching The Other Way, where the Americans go to these other countries. It's like a whole different way of life where the Americans think they'll get there and move out with the spouse. And the spouse is like, nah, we staying in here with my parents. Like, this is what we do.
I think when Have was saying like what's the right time frame, I think if your kid doing something with themselves and stuff like that, and they got a bigger goal, like why rush to go live in an apartment you probably can't afford, and it's going to only hamper you to get to where your goal is. And 9 times out of 10 out of survival, we going to quit what we doing because we trying to keep our place or whatever the case may be in short term. Like I think we should let people, but it's hard to let people stay when people want their freedoms and they still a kid to you, but they 25 now or they 23. So you look at them different. It's like, I think it's tough. And then it's the space too. People be trying to let their kids stay, and it's like, y'all.
It's a little,
you know,
crazy.
it's small. Our culture too. Our culture be pushing them more than.
But that's what's funny. Like our culture. I mean, I didn't look at stats before we got in here, but I feel like our culture overall probably has like, I'm not going to say the lowest level of wealth, but a lot of these other cultures, like they do very well economically, financially. But we're the one, like they're the cultures where their kids could move out because they got the money, right? But we're the one. It's like we're the opposite. Like we don't have it, but we're kicking our kids out at 18, and more than likely,
frustrated. We broke.
But it's like, did we even prepare the kid to be an adult at 18? Like, come on, at 18, you young, you a teenager. You know, it's just interesting, that conversation where you would think we would be the ones keeping our kids home longer to keep that money because we don't have as much money. And it's not anything on us. Generationally or culturally speaking, how many years did we lose of progress? So I'm not saying it in a negative way of like black people, it's just interesting that we just be quick to get the kids out the house.
Even me teasing Have about like not having a kid because he would be super old. A lot of different cultures, that's when they had their kids. That's when they have, and that's the optimal time. I'm gonna get my degree. I'm gonna get my dream job.
Together.
I'm gonna establish myself there.
It's the smart way.
I live a certain lifestyle where I'm only working Monday through Friday or whatever like that, and then I'm gonna have my kids.
Then I'm gonna have my kids, or if I'm even working that much, because I might have a business by now where I can just. It's just passive income at this point. I'm home with my family.
Like I've been up at my job, I'm like, this old motherfucker picking up a kindergartner, and people don't look at this shit no different way.
The fact that you keep saying super old.
Nah, not super old. Not super old.
I know. Well, that's because too. I mean, I feel like as black people, we have kids young. I think sometimes, like, I'm not saying it's only exclusive to us, but I feel like again, even if we talk about like the having kids out of wedlock. Like, I feel like the numbers are pointing to us a little more than any other race. Like,
that's what I wanted to talk about. I think we do have kids a lot out of wedlock more than other people. But I think the parameters of like marriage change. Before you had to get married, before you got some cutty. And it was like you was just jumping to get married. Now it's like you couldn't even date. You couldn't even date a man daughter if you ain't had no intentions on marrying her. So when they came to your house, when you came to our house, well, her dad was there too.
Her dad was present.
Her dad was present. Her dad said, "You gonna have to marry her."
What's your intentions for my daughter?
Right?
Yeah,
She ain't no floozy.
And also, like, divorce wasn't a thing, and it's a thing now. Like, divorce wasn't a thing back then. Like, you stuck it out.
Right.
Yeah, like
it's a very interesting conversation. And I'm not saying, of course, back then that all the marriages were healthy because we know they weren't. What I could respect is that everybody played their role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The man, for the most part, again, we know there's exceptions to all the rules. Everything wasn't perfect. And I'm not saying, the husband could have been abusive and worse and still paying all the bills. So it's not saying that his behavior equates to like him being a provider. Like, that's okay. I'm just saying that, like, back then, I guess people knew their roles. How mentally healthy they were was a whole nother conversation, right? Thing, But when we want to just talk about kids having what they needed to survive, mom and dad there, a hot meal every night, going to school, clean clothes, it does seem like that was the norm, and it wasn't out of wedlock. And even back then, though, I mean, that was the generation where if you did get pregnant out of wedlock, they sent you to a whole nother state. Like, you went down south. Like, you couldn't stay in the town where you were at because I remember my mom telling me that, especially if you was up here, you got sent down south because it's like you was kind of like an embarrassment.
You ain't embarrassing us.
Right, you was kind of like an embarrassment, which is sad.
You go down there with them trifling, mom.
Yeah, so, but I I wanted to ask y'all again. We talking about y'all having children and me not having children. How do y'all feel about people that don't have children, commenting on raising kids or commenting on, like, let's say they out in public and I don't know, the
Right.
kid doing something and they say something and then a mom or the dad is like, don't tell me about my kid. Da, da, da. Like, what y'all feel about people that don't have children or other people that do have children commenting on kids that aren't theirs?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm the type of person that take advice
Mm-hmm.
from anybody which way. So it wouldn't bother me too much. That's just your opinion
Mhm.
on something. Everybody has an opinion. But if you never sat in the driver's seat,
Mm-hmm.
you can't drive sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. True.
So,
That's true.
Yeah.
but I wouldn't.
agree
I don't
with
mind. I don't mind you, not to cut you off, but
Go ahead.
I don't mind you saying something though. Like I don't mind you giving your advice on. Listen, hey, maybe this, that, and the third. I don't mind it at all. So you could give the advice, but like I said, you wouldn't know
Mhm.
what it's like
Right.
if you've never been there, been through it.
I think a lot of times people who don't have kids that comment on people that do have kids and like how they parent and stuff like that, sometimes they miss like it's you gotta put yourself in those shoes first before you pass judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Because some stuff be totally wrong. It don't matter if you got kids or you don't got
Mhm.
kids.
You
It's
know
just
what's-
not
you
right.
know what's
Yeah,
right
yeah,
and
yeah,
wrong,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's just right or wrong. I don't
Right.
have to have kids to know that you shouldn't be talking to your kids
Yeah, like
a
that.
guy on the street or something
Right,
like that. Yeah.
right,
So
yeah.
that stuff is just all the way out of line. But some things people be trying to like find a way of parenting, and a lot of times, in my experience, when people who don't have kids comment on things, or even like my mom come over and comment a lot on things where it's like you had your kids and then you didn't do that with us, but you
Right.
think this the way it should be done.
Mhm.
And a lot of times is you don't understand the whole parameter of how it is because
Mhm.
you're not in there.
Right.
Yeah, even like I get a lot of time like, oh, like my daughter get over on me, and it's like I'll be like, she do get over on me sometimes, but it's not easy for me to just turn that switch off because of how much she means to me.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, like objectively, you probably can say that because she
Mhm.
don't mean the same thing she mean to you to me.
Yeah,
Like so
right.
exactly. But like you say, you're always supposed to take heed of everything people say. Like
Mhm.
and I just think that people, long as people taking like they emphasize that like that is. I'm not a parent, but I'm kind of speaking
Yeah.
to it from a point of like I understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
yeah.
why you didn't. Yeah, you didn't change that shirt after he threw up on because that's the third time you probably changed it. Or
Mhm.
I don't want to
Mhm.
mess up another outfit, so I can see your
Mhm.
viewpoint.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
So I think that be missing a lot of times. Some people just criticize and they don't even like see that. But I think you're supposed to take all advice, like you said.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it also depends on the person and like the tone that they're using. Because you
Yeah.
get some people that don't have kids that don't have patience for kids. They don't want kids either, and they're just very like short tempered with kids. Like,
Right.
get that kid out of here. Whereas with me, like I told y'all before, like I've been an aunt since I was like 12.
Right.
And so I've been an aunt for basically 20 years at this point. My youngest niece is 4, my oldest nephew is 21, and I have like 7 more in between there. So
Okay.
I'm very knowledgeable about kids. Again, I'm not a parent. However, I'm a very hands-on auntie. I changed the diapers, I fed them,
Right.
I babysat,
So
and
you
it
got
was-
some
and I have a lot of I have a lot of experience. Whereas I think too that's what goes into me not being in a rush to have children either, because I'm TT Ty and
Right.
those are my babies, those are my children.
Right,
Like
right.
God forbid something happen to their parents or they need me, like I'm there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
absolutely.
I feel responsible in that way. The blessing is that I get to send them home and I get that time by myself. But the same level of care and like consideration and love, of course, it's not going to be equal to that of a parent, but it's just as intense where
Mhm.
I'll have a niece who's like telling me about what she got going on in middle school, and I'm ready to go up to the school because and I'm like, oh, is this what it's like when you a parent?
Right.
If your kid come to you saying, oh, such and such hit
Right.
me, or you just be ready to
You be
like,
ready to go.
woo, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I think it depends on, of course, like the way you're coming across. I think anybody with me, like, and I'm also like somebody that if a kid is in my presence, regardless of who the kid is, I feel responsible for
Just
that kid.
nurturing, yeah.
I'm not like just in my phone like, oh, well, that baby about to stick their finger in that socket, but I don't know, they ain't my baby, or I don't know who that baby is. No, I'm literally paying attention like, okay, whose child is this?
I got a story.
So yeah, what's your story here?
No, because all right, so you know how like you were saying, like you don't know how people gonna react when it's they kids and stuff like that. So I'm in the park. We're in the park. We did a little walk in the park or whatever. So this kid was like on a skateboard, and he was like flying down this like
The hill or something.
flying down the ramp or whatever. And he crashed, but he crashed into some grass, and he was laying on the joint just crying, like bawling his eyes out. But his mom is all the way over there on the phone or something shit like that. But being like the world we live in, you don't want to go up and like touch the kids shit like that. So I just let the kid cry.
Yeah.
So the mom finally came, and she's like, "They just sit here and not doing nothing, this, that, and the third." But if we was to do something, it'd be like, "Why you
What
on
you
my
doing
kid?
with my
Why you touching my
child?"
child like that?"
Yeah,
So I let him cry. I was just sitting there like, I mean, she over there on the phone, like you ain't even.
You
watching
should
the
be
kid.
watching
You
your
should
own
be
children. Yeah, especially
But
if your
yeah.
kid is on a
Just let my
skateboard on a
kid
ramp.
cry.
Like I don't know.
And he
you
was
could-
balling too. I wanted to, bro. I swear to God, I
yeah.
wanted to get up and be like,
yeah.
but you don't know how people gonna react, and I just
know
rather
exactly
not
what
be.
it
That's
is.
how-
It's a tough spot, like
Yeah, it's-
because there are creepy people out here that
Exactly.
be walking
They
up on
grabbed his
kids
butt.
and
She got mad at us because you on the phone.
right.
You ain't know that was your
and
baby crying.
and your kid all the way over here
I'm talking about
on
she
a
was
skateboard on a ramp.
down there. The kid was up here next to us. She
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, and I think it's a fine line. And there's been a few times even I'm out and about. Let's say I'm driving or something, and one thing that bothers me is when kids are like out the window.
Yeah.
hanging out the
Ooh,
window.
that really, because clearly they're not in a seatbelt.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's very exciting. You know, as a kid, you put that window way down, you get to see what's going on while the car drives. So I get it. But obviously, anything can happen
Right.
if you're literally out the window. And of course, I'm talking summertime.
Yeah.
And it was a few times like that but I said, nope, I'm not going to say nothing. Because I want to be like, do you know your kid is clearly not in a seatbelt?
Yeah.
For them to be out this much, like,
Yeah.
that's a problem. Like, God forbid a car zoom past, side swipe, anything
fall
can
out the
happen.
window, right.
Kid fly out the
That
I'm
shit
thinking just worst case scenario. But I just, like you said, we live in a different time
Yeah.
there where people. So it's like you gonna curse me out for helping, then you gonna curse me out for
Nah,
not helping.
goddamn,
Well, I
yeah.
can't win for
You can't
losing.
win.
So I'm right with you. Where depending on the situation, I just won't say anything. And of course, I'll just be like, thinking about the kid, hoping they're okay. But it's a fine line there,
He was flying down that joint too.
for real.
I seen it happen when it was going. He about
Wow.
to hit that bush.
Oh, I'm glad it was grass though, or what you say was like leaves and stuff, and
It was grand. It was that
Well, I'm happy because if it was something else, some cement or
Lemon Hill. What's it called? Lemon Hill. Yeah,
Lemon
over
Hill.
there at that little park over there.
All right, y'all. Well, I got another surprise topic.
Go ahead.
This one is not
two
as
shows in
deep.
a row.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, because I thought the last one was good.
Yeah, it was.
Right. This one is not as intense, but I think it's a good one. So the question, y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Yeah, we
All
gotta
right.
be.
we gotta be. So for today's surprise question / topic, what's one thing that y'all currently do now that you either want to stop doing or change how you do it? It could be anything.
I think it's a lot of things for men.
But what's like high on the list where you like, yo, I gotta do better this year. Like I gotta, not something that you want to start doing because it'd be 50 million things
Yeah.
you say I want to start doing. But what's one thing you currently do?
I know for sure with me, it's my eating habits.
Okay.
That's gonna be that's number one
Okay.
for sure. Cause I eat not. I don't think I eat too bad. Like it's the times. Like I eat like late at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get off like 7,
Mm.
and I might not eat till like 10, 11.
Mm-hmm.
Then sometimes we doing extracurricular activities and it make you hungry again. I might eat again. You know what
So
I'm saying?
so is you got a meal, like a second meal?
Yeah, like so I like that's the shit that be killing me. Like I really want to like get a better
Fucking hungry now.
A second dinner.
Yeah.
At
No,
midnight.
No real shit though. I be like, yo, I got it. When I should be in the fucking bed somewhere. Like I'm downstairs making something.
You eat this shit like I got to
Chefing
do
it
better. I need to start doing
I
better.
know I ain't supposed to eat this shit, but I'm hungry as a motherfucker. But no,
Might
for
be
real,
the
like
best meal.
I do want to do better. Like as far as like
Uh-huh.
what I eat and how I eat.
And how you eat it.
I say that. That's my one
Okay.
thing for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Sport.
I'm trying to think of something that's like I could say some easy ones.
What's one?
I could reel off some easy ones.
Not an easy one.
Stop doing this. Stop doing that.
Give us
stop doing
a
that.
juicy one that's like, whoa, or I don't know, something that's like, you know.
All right, you want the X-rated?
No,
No,
oh,
I'm
no,
playing.
not
No,
no
I'm playing.
X-rated.
I'm playing.
Nah.
I would say betting. I want to stop betting. Like totally just stop gambling.
Oh, you a
Yeah.
gambling addict?
I'm not a gambling addict, but like I told myself mentally that it don't. I seen enough stuff to make that I feel like it don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So once I feel like it don't make sense, I feel a little stupid still doing something that don't make
That you
sense.
know don't
Yeah.
make it.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like when
yeah.
I saw things like how they explain like the parlays and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then like to know that like people only tell you when they win and not when they lose, and
Mhm.
they might lose 5 days out the week and they win twice, but they're gonna tell you they won twice.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then just like the joy I get from watching sports is kind of like dwindled down to where it's just I'm just worried about my bet. I'm just worried about my bet. Like
Yeah.
even watching my team, like I don't care if my
Wow.
team win. I just
It's
worry
just
about the
your
bet.
bet, yeah.
So I kind of like anything that I do once I formulate the opinion that I feel like is stupid
Mm-hmm.
and I think like I shouldn't do it no more. If I
Mhm.
still do it, I
Mhm.
feel even dumb about
Yeah,
it because I know
yeah,
better.
right.
Yeah, so it's something
Yeah.
I feel like I know better that I should
Yeah.
stop doing.
Right.
And then I just want to stop doing it. Like
Yeah.
completely stop doing it because I did for a while and then I always wrote myself in just a little bit or it's just fun and or I put like restraints on something.
Right.
What's the longest you went without betting? Like
Uh
since it got like
6-7 months.
oh,
So I would go like January to football season started.
Yeah.
So I went from January to September. And then when September came, I bet it all football season. And then when January came again, I stopped. So I felt like I put a restraint to it.
Yeah.
But that money I could have got back.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I could have
yeah.
kept that money. And then when I looked on there, what my goal was this year because like they give you a list of like how much money
How
you
much you
spent and how much
Oh
you won.
wow. Uh-huh.
So like I'm only down on the casino by like $2,000.
Only 2,000?
Shit, only.
That's small.
That's small for
Like
real?
betting
That's
and
Oh,
stuff.
small for people
wow.
who bet. That's only $2,000. So I kept telling myself, like, if I hit a $2,000 ticket, I'll be even with
You'll
the
be
casino,
back.
And then you'll
I
be
could
done.
leave.
Yeah, but
I
you trying to get
never
your
got
2,000 back.
chased.
Yeah.
You
So I'm
trying to get
chasing
your
this
lick back.
2,000 so I can tell
Yeah.
people like, oh, the casino ain't get over on me.
But
But
that's gambling.
It's
That's
still gambling.
That's
Yeah,
gambling.
yeah.
That's
So
why
I
it's
just
so
told myself I'm
addictive.
gonna
Yeah.
cut my losses.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then I could look and say like a lot of people would say like, oh, they be down like 20,000, 50,000. I'm like, if I'm down 2,000, they would love to only be down 2,000.
Yeah, I
whatever
see what
like
you
that.
said.
So I
But
need to just cut my losses.
I get it, but you want your 2,000 back.
I did, but
so it's
A
like
part of that is like knowing that you like gotta cut your losses
true.
That's a good
and,
one.
and stop.
and just stop.
And
Yeah,
just
yeah,
stop.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
if not, you're gonna keep going and
But
then
it's
that's
hard.
the whole
It's so
point.
much harder now than it used to be because once people know you bet, they get around you and just start talking about betting.
And then
it's like not
Yeah.
getting high,
Yeah.
and everybody around you still get high.
I-
Like so, everybody talk about sports betting. Like I go to my mom's house,
Yeah.
my little brother talk about it.
Yeah,
Group chats
yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Like I told people I quit when the New Year started. I quit,
Yeah.
and people send me all
They
these tickets
still-
on Sunday.
And then you
Yeah.
like, yo, I just
Yeah.
told y'all.
And then like the fact that people now like they buy picks from other people, so
Mhm.
you spending money on the picks,
Yeah.
and then you betting,
Yeah.
and then you hoping that hit. So like it's bad.
It's addictive.
It's bad.
It's addictive.
It's bad.
Yeah. Okay.
And it don't even be about. And what got me is with like you don't win that much,
Mm-hmm.
so you really just chasing the feeling of when you put the ticket in, like,
Mhm,
oh, I'm going to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
So once you
It's
start
their whole
chasing that
feeling,
feeling, and I saw a gambling documentary on Netflix about it, and it's like it's almost similar to that feeling when you pull down the lever and you go ding, 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 ding,
Yeah,
ding, ding.
it's like an
that's when you
adrenaline
feel
rush,
the
like
most well.
Yeah.
Because even when you hit, you like, oh, I gotta go spend this money on this. Or
Right.
even if you
But it's
lose, you like,
something
I gotta
about
do
that,
it again. It's
like,
something about that.
cha-ching and-
So when you
yeah.
putting that ticket in and you hit it, and then you start to send it to people, like, oh, that's a good joint. You
Yeah.
like, yeah.
This is how you
Yeah.
really
You start spending the
It's
money,
addictive.
like yeah. So and that's the only good feeling you get from
Yeah.
it. Like so,
I
it's like
know,
you
yeah.
wasting it. I can go all day about
I
this
know,
shit.
but
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
go
a
ahead.
like
Yeah.
you gotta
I'm
like study the
partying right now.
psychological
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
that's doing
But
and
that's what
like
I'm
try
saying,
to
like,
break that
with stuff
habit.
like that,
'cause
once
it's
you-
yeah.
Once you psychologically realize something not good for you and
Yeah.
you still do it, that shit make you feel 10 times worse.
But I mean, I think for both of y'all, it's like y'all aware of it, and that's where it starts. Cause you gotta think you're not gonna be able to change
Yeah.
something overnight. Like
Yeah,
that's just not
exactly.
realistic. I just compare that to when, like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe more, when I wanted to lose weight, and
Yeah.
I just kept thinking about it, and I kept getting disgusted, and I would go in the dressing room
Yeah.
and try something on, and had to get the next size, and it just that kept registering in my brain to the point where I was like, enough.
Right.
So that's why I want to encourage y'all, like, don't feel down on yourself for not changing it. It's going to get to a point where you're going to see your numbers is not good, or you keep losing money. You like, yo, enough is enough. You just stop. You just get, but awareness is the first step. Same thing with like when you go to like Alcoholics Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous. That's like step one, like awareness. Like I know I have a problem, and
You're
then
embarrassed if you call that 1-800 gambling number.
I'm just saying, if you need it,
my
you
name
need
is
it. No
Hud.
shade, but real quick, let me
like to
touch on
gamble.
mine.
Go ahead. After this, I want to say one thing.
Well, go ahead now. You can say it.
All right.
Yeah.
So I was trying to. This is a little off of that, but like
Mm-hmm.
I was formulating, and I told somebody this too, like formulating a way to accomplish like your yearly goals.
Mm-hmm.
So I just told somebody that my New Year's might be my favorite holiday.
Mm.
So a lot of people don't say that, but
Yeah, I like
like
it
if
too.
I have like 4, 5 goals for the year, I try to tackle one a month so I
Mhm.
can master one and then I go to the next one.
Oh, smart.
So I've been telling people to try that. Try like mastering one at a time. Like we take on a year and we say like, oh, we're gonna try 10 things.
Mhm.
And we try and do all 10 of those things the
Yeah.
first month. And
Yeah.
it's like you
You
couldn't
know
do
that's
none
not
of these
realistic,
last
yeah.
year. How you
Right.
trying to do all
Yeah,
of them?
yeah,
So I,
yeah.
like me per se, I've been mastering this not drinking soda or juice thing, just water and like
Mhm.
black coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing well with just that.
Good.
Now next month we're gonna get to the gym, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, but like we talked
But it
about,
take
it's
you
what you
those
eating
30
and drinking.
days or
Yeah,
90
and it's
days
like
to
just giving
master
yourself
something.
grace and being patient.
Right.
And understanding like I have this goal. I just have to try and work on
Right.
getting
But if
there.
you, like you said, you juggle too many things. Once
And-
you drop one ball,
and
you drop
then
them
you
all.
get and then you get in your head and you feel terrible about
Yeah,
it. Like
now
you
you-
get down on yourself.
Right.
And it's like, but no, I'm okay. Like, yes. So we'll have a whole nother conversation about that specifically. But for my thing that I want to, something I'm currently doing that I either want to stop doing or change how I'm doing it, it is my baby road rage while I'm driving.
Yeah.
And I call it baby
All
because
y'all women got that.
Yeah.
for me, I'm not to the point where I'm like,
Yelling out.
honking out, like honking the horn, jumping out the window. What are you doing? Like, I'm not crazy,
Mm-hmm.
but I notice. So, like for me, right, when I'm in a car, like I pray a lot when I'm driving, because I pray out loud, because it's easier for me to stay on track with my prayer when I'm saying it out loud. When I'm just thinking of it, you know, your brain just go 10 million ways.
Right.
So driving is like the perfect time to pray because you just driving, right? And it's just amazing. It just becomes such a habit for me where half the time I'm not even listening to music. I'm literally just talking to God and I love it. So because that's like my time of praying and my sacred time, one of them anyway, I noticed that when somebody does something stupid, when they driving, I get so upset, it takes me off my square with my prayer. It's like now changing like my spirit in a way. Like, because you know, I'm praying, I'm like
I
feeling
feel like they interrupted you. Something like that.
but I did it really, right? Because like they drive how they drive. You know, I can't control how they drive.
Right.
I'm the one getting triggered by it and letting it take me off my square. So that's something that I continue to say to myself, but also I want to say it to y'all because this is the accountability piece where like I just want to get better.
Listen,
Like,
we don't judge.
right. I just want to get better. Like, because I feel like I have this whole analogy and I'm like being a deep thinker now where like I feel like driving is a lot like life where you can't control how people drive, just like how you can't control how people act, right? And if you allow yourself to get upset every time somebody cut you off or don't put their turning signal on or do something stupid, you're just gonna be upset all the time because people nowadays drive ridiculous. They trying to get around you just to go in the same direction you going.
Exactly.
They, you know, getting in the turning lane just to get in front of you. Like they just driving crazy. So I told myself, Ty, you need to get a handle on this because if you keep getting triggered and upset at the way somebody is driving, then you might as well not drive because you're going to be upset forever, especially in Philly. Like we live in a major city. People driving crazy, you know, reckless. And that's another thing that bothers me too. Like you're putting other people's lives in danger because of your recklessness. So I'm just thinking, you know, even too common sense, like, why are you doing that? That was dumb. That just wasn't smart. Use your brain. So all of these things go into my little baby road rage I have that I'm trying to work on. So that's what I want to improve on. So yeah, y'all keep me accountable. Next time we record, be like, all right, Ty, how was that ride in? But yeah, that's what I want to work on. And same with y'all. I'm gonna be asking about betting.
Yeah, I ain't gonna bet. Yeah.
And Hev, I'm gonna be asking about them numbers because you already know Coach Ty don't play when it comes to health and wellness. It's important, seriously. Like
For real.
our health
One
is
meal at night, not the. Don't get that after sex snack.
And then let's think about
eat though, cause I ain't eat all
you ain't eat all day, yeah. And that's the thing. You gotta
different,
be
yeah.
better with like
Yeah.
meal planning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you already got something ready to go, that might be different than you having to like cook something at
Mhm.
10 o'clock.
Right.
So yeah. All right, y'all.
But this is episode 81 of
81.
the DIPP.
Yo, we've been consistent.
Yeah.
Y'all, please make sure y'all letting us know, whether it be on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, however you access us, what y'all think. We know it's a new dynamic with Ty on the set here. I'm not a dad, but I'm in progress. So we know it's a new dynamic, y'all. We hope the topics are resonating with y'all. They're interesting. Let us know how y'all feeling. Please connect with us, y'all. We want to
for
talk.
sure,
We
for
want to
sure.
chat.
Get at us everywhere but TikTok, cause it's going.
Everywhere but
Yeah.
TikTok.
Hit 'em with the
Wow.
But you
slogan,
know
huh?
how it is. As long as you in progress, you're not failing. It's the dip.
It's
We
the
out.
dip. Peace.